They can't tell me or my band or any of us where to play. You don't play Israel. Well, you know what? I'm playing Israel, and you can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me, BDS. You're not the boss of me.
Shalom, and welcome to the Israel Beat Jewish Music Podcast. My name is Benjamin Bresky, and I interviewed Ross the Boss from the Dictators and Manowar, as well as Tim Ripper Owens, formerly of Judas Priest. They played in Israel for the Titans of Metal show, which brought dozens of musicians from various famous bands such as Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Scorpions, and a dozen or so other groups. Both Ripper Owens and Ross the Boss released videos online preceding the concert vowing to perform in Israel regardless of any political ramifications. Those videos have spread on Facebook and pro-Israel websites.
Tim Ripper Owens here. Israel, Israel, Israel. No boycott stopping me. I will be there December 17th, Titans of Metal. You know, I'm ashamed that people would try to stop musicians and try to stop fans and try to stop people. You know, this thing is, it's not about politics or territory. Listen, music is for the fans. Music is for the people. I will be there. My musician friends will be there. I'm for the music. I'm for the people. And music is for the people.
This will be Owens' third visit to Israel, having previously performed in 2010 at the Heavy Metal Tel Aviv event. Owens gained fame in 1996 when the veteran British heavy metal act Judas Priest chose him as their new lead singer. At the time, Owens was in a Judas Priest cover band in his hometown of Akron, Ohio. That story was made into a feature film in 2001 called Rockstar, starring Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston. Owens stated, "I feel lucky and honored that they made the movie, but I didn't care so much for the music they chose for the soundtrack," he joked, calling it quite different from his own real-life story. Owens says, unlike the movie, he is still in contact and on good terms with his former bandmates from Judas Priest, including original lead singer Rob Halford. He still lives in his hometown in Akron, where he runs a restaurant and music venue called Tim Owens Traveler's Tavern. "I have the same friends and do the same things," he stated. Ross the Boss has a slightly different story. The 61-year-old rocker began his career with the Dictators, which were considered pioneers in the world of punk rock, where he hung out with the Ramones and the MC5. Here is Ross the Boss talking about Israel, the BDS movement, and his career.
Well, Ben, heavy metal, we have a lot of genres in heavy metal. Power metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, progressive metal. The Titans of Metal is a kind of a mix of everything. It's an all-star show of guys that are all great guys, all great musicians and singers, all coming together to show off the greatness of heavy metal and the diversity of it. I enjoy them. I've been doing them for a while. I did the Metal All-Stars, this thing, all Eastern Europe, all over the place. So I am Jewish. I was bar mitzvahed in the Bronx, New York. The Shiv Center, Jewish Center in the Bronx on Valentine Avenue off Fordham Road in the Bronx. You know, after I was bar mitzvahed, you know, I was really pretty following the religion pretty good. But as I said, like rock and roll hit, you know. I was playing piano and then violin in junior high school. And then I said, you know what? I like guitar better. Guitar players get more girls. So I switched to guitar, and from then on, I've been a guitar player. My neighborhood growing up, Bronx, New York, a lot of Jewish people there, Italians and Jews. Little Italy in the Bronx was nearby. Yankee Stadium was a little ways on the 4 train. I spent a lot of time in Yankee Stadium, by the way. It was my neighborhood. Yeah, well, the neighborhood now is not the same. I don't recognize it every time I go there. But we had a great childhood. It was safe. Schools were good. I had a lot of fun. Well, of course, the Dictators was my first band when I was 19. We formed the band, and we put our first album out in 1975, The Dictators Go Girl Crazy, an iconic punk record. Uncut magazine in London says it's the greatest American punk rock record ever. Sony Legacy just put 40-year anniversary out. Andrew WK remixed 3 songs, and it was put out Black Friday day after Thanksgiving, and it's selling well. It's doing great. We're having a great time. The new band, Dictators NYC, the 2 new members are thriving. We're playing more than ever. New singles, new music. And yes, the Dictators are Jewish. We are Jewish boys from the Bronx. They had a big influence on us. It was a big influence on religion. But just that we were like punk band, we were kind of like the New York punk band, Bronx attitude, like we don't take no shit from nobody. We were just in Europe when the Paris attacks happened. We were playing in Spain and Burgos, and we found out that it happened and our hearts were broken. And the Eagles of Death Metal are our friends, and a lot of the fans are fans of ours too. And I'm sure they were ready to come to our show too that next Wednesday. So we get a call from the government and the promoter and said, there's just no way the government's canceling the theater, Trebendo. And, the gig's off. I go, well, you know what? The gig isn't off because we're going to go find another venue. So we told the promoter, get us another venue and we will play. Okay, so the guy found us a 150-seat bar, but right in the middle where the attacks were and where the restaurants got shot up. We played. And we went in. All the other bands were canceling. We went in. The Dictators NYC went in. And we had double motive because, they shot up the Bataclan and killed 89 fans because they thought the owner was Jewish. We have double motive for playing the show because they, don't mess with us. Just don't mess with Jewish people anymore. It's enough. We ain't lying down for you. And I don't care. It was our way of showing with battling back with rock and roll and guitars, and we did it. And it was the most important gig I ever played that day. And then the French people were just, the French press was there, and there was a TV station. It's going to be a documentary. They filmed it. So that was that scene. When I come to Israel, I wanted to see a lot of things, but there's just no time. There's no time. I hope I could see it. But to me, it's just the greatest moment. It will be so fantastic when I set foot on sacred soil, sacred Israeli soil. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a lot of emotions about that, I got to tell you. Okay, so BDS. Yeah, well, these guys are a bunch of, They can't tell me or my band or any of us where to play. Don't play Israel. Well, you know what? I'm playing Israel, and you can't tell me what to do. You're anti-Semitic, and you know what? Go. Sorry, I'm cursing there, Ben, but you know what? Go. And Roger Waters, you know what? You anti-Semitic. Let me tell you, the nerve of this guy. In Israel, we know Israel only reacts when they're attacked. If there's no bombs being lobbed in and knives and guys knifing people, and who wants war? Everyone wants peace, and just Israel is ready to have peace. If you attack Israel, Israel reacts. We're completely surrounded by enemies. I don't care what genre, or metal, or pop, or anything. You don't tell artists what to do. You're not the boss of me, BDS. You're not the boss of me, of Ross the Boss. I've always been a heavy rock guitar player. Even in the Dictators, I'm a real guitar player. In punk, you don't see many guys playing leads. But I always loved Cream, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. B.B. King is my idol on guitar. So I'm a heavy guitar player, heavy rock guitar player. And Humble Pie, Peter Frampton, Blue Oyster Cult, Carlos Santana, the Butterfield Blues Band, Albert King, all those guys like that. Peter Green and Fleetwood Mac. Dictators were great. We did 3 records, and then I was in a French band called Shaken Street. I was in London. I was actually opening for Black Sabbath. Okay, I was opening for my idols, Shaken Street, because we had the same manager. I met Ronnie Dio, introduced me to Joey DeMeo, who was on their crew. He had played bass, and then we got to be good friends, and then we made Manowar. If it wasn't for Ronnie Dio, there would be no Manowar. How's that? And I love Ronnie, and he's the sweetest fellow. I just miss him so much. I miss all my friends. Joey Ramone, Ronnie Dio. I don't know. So many guys are gone. There was no transition. I'm just a heavy guitar player. I just like playing heavy music. My latest projects, well, obviously, the new band, it's called Death Dealer. It's fantastic. The record came out in October, our second record. We have a tremendous record. It's called Hallowed Ground. We have a great video out. Fantastic videos. Check them out. my other projects. I think the Ross the Boss Band is going to resurface again. There's going to be some new members. I mean, in these days, heavy metal, a lot of guys are just doing many bands, a lot of bands. Of course, I have the Dictators, I have Death Dealer, I have the Metal All Stars, the Titans of Metal, the Lords of Loud, all the things that I do, and the Ross the Boss Band is going to be coming out again, I think. New Metal Leader was my first solo Ross the Boss in 2008, by the way. What will I be performing in Israel? I'll be doing 2 Manowar songs and be playing a couple with Chris Amat from Arch Enemy, maybe one with Chuck Billy, Sabbath, Priest. I don't know. I'll tell you when I get there tomorrow. Well, what I want to share is it was my goal to come to Israel. I hope I can come again and see everything, but it's the greatest honor for me to play in Israel. I know my grandparents are watching from afar, and they'd be proud that I'm there. I have a lot of emotion and love for Israel and my people. And the Titans Metal is going to be a great concert on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and shaking everyone's hands and hugging everybody. And anyway, thank you very much, and thank you much, Titans. Thank you, Ben, and God bless the state of Israel. That's it, and thank you very much.
That was Ross the Boss, who performed on December 17th in Tel Aviv at the Titans of Metal Festival, which was put together by Prague Stage Productions. I'd like to thank Patrick Leszczynski from Prague Stage, who helped set up this interview, and I'd like to thank the Times of Israel. This is Benjamin Bresky, and for more information, you can send me an email at bbresky@gmail.com. That's BBRESKY@gmail.com.